Hello, everyone. Welcome to Saints Signs Happening and the free week course. This is week 3, day number 4. And wow, we have covered a lot of stuff over the past 2 and almost 3 weeks now. And, uh, and we have more stuff to cover today. And I'm excited
I
uh,
know I am.
to dive into this and take a look at this here. So we're going to get started. And what we're going to be talking about is when does the eighth king get the power, seat, and authority of Satan? In Daniel chapter 11, verse 19, this is going to be talking about the second king of the kingdom of the north over here. And it says, Then shall he turn his face towards the ford of his own land, but he shall stumble and fall and not be found. Then shall stand up in his estate a raiser of taxes in the glory of the kingdom. But within few days he shall be destroyed, neither in anger nor in battle. I like reading verse 22 next. And with the arms of a flood shall they be overflown from before him, and shall be broken, yea, also the prince of the covenant. So it's it's a coup. In verse 21, and in his estate shall stand up a vile person to whom they shall not give the honor of the kingdom, but he shall come in peaceably and obtain the kingdom by flatteries. So um, the eighth king is destroyed when Christ returns in power and glory. Now, Um, let's take a look. We just read verse 22 a second ago. Look at verse 23. And after a league made with him, he shall work deceitfully, for he shall come up and shall become strong with the small people. He shall enter peaceably, even upon the fattest places of the province. And he shall do that which his fathers have not done, nor his father's father. He shall scatter among them the prey and spoil and riches. Yea, and he shall forecast his devices against the strongholds, even for a time. So when he becomes the eighth king, now remember, prior to that, he was a king in one of the four Grecia areas. And so that is how he ended up having um, uh, the arms of a flood to be able to come over and remove this raiser of taxes king who had only been king for a few days. And but they don't give him the honor of the kingdom, and yet he is their king. And he was a king over in the Grecia area. And so in Daniel chapter 17, the angel giving the interpretation says that it's a beast that was and is not and yet is. And then in verse 11, it talks about that even he is the eighth. He's the eighth king and goeth into perdition. Now, um, so when he becomes king, he comes in and he, as we read in um, verse 21, he's going to come in peaceably and he's going to take the kingdom by flattery. So that looks like a coup attempt is what I'm thinking. And that means that these people knew who he was and he was liked because he came into the kingdom peaceably. He went into where the new king was at. peaceably and then took him out. And but then he just acts peaceably with all the kingdom, and he uses flatteries. Listen, he wasn't very good. He lost control of the monetary system. He lost control of all those places that the previous king had conquered, and he is screwed up so much. He wasn't good for you. I'm the one that went around the world and convinced the world that the people around the world should build the monetary system that has made all of you so rich, that made the second king of the north so rich and powerful. I was the person that was behind all that. I made your kingdom great with the help of that second king, the king of the north. And your kingdom was great, and now it's not. But I will make it great again. So he becomes their king. Now, as their king, he makes a league with someone, and then he takes the spoils, riches, and he passes them out to everybody. And boy, is he buttering these people up, right? Now, um, does the eighth king act like he has the power, seat, and authority of Satan in these verses? Let's go to verse 25. And he shall stir up his power with courage against the king of the south, which again, that's also, it's going to be Egypt, but it's also going to be where Israel is, and part of the southern part of Iran. Uh, okay, he's going to courage against the king of the south with a great army, and the king of the south shall be stirred up to battle with a very great and mighty army. But he shall not stand, for they shall forecast devices against him. And we read about um, that in verse 24. It says, and he shall forecast devices against the strongholds. That's the kingdom of the south, more specifically, uh, the Israel area, Jerusalem area. So now we read verse 25. Now we're going to read verse 26. Yea, they that feed of the portion of his meat, that's the kingdom, that's the king of the south's meat, shall destroy him, and his army shall overflow, and many shall fall down slain. So somehow this eighth king uh, gets people in the kingdom of the south to turn against the king of the south. Now, it says destroy him, but he doesn't die. Uh, we read in verse 27, both these kings' hearts shall be to do mischief, and they shall speak lies at one table, but it shall not prosper, for yet the end shall be at the time appointed. These verses that we've just read, 25, 26, 27, they have a lot of meat in them. So when the when the monetary system was set up with the help of this Grisha king who was convincing the world, along with another king, that they convinced the people of the world that they should set up this monetary system over in Rome. And but the person that was going to control it was going to be the second king of the north, who had received a deadly wound with a sword and yet did live. And so I can only hypothesize that this second king of the north was telling people, man, I should have been dead. But, I'm alive, and I don't want any more war. And so, if you give me power over the monetary system, then I'll make sure that there's no more war and that we'll all live peaceably. And if any country tries to build up an army or whatever, I'll shut them down because we don't want any more war. Now, that's my hypothesis. Now, follow me through. With that king being gone, this king who only lives for a few days, there's no indication that he has control over the monetary system. So, who does have control over the monetary system after the sixth king is no more heard from? And that's where we get into um, Daniel chapter 7 that ties in with Revelation chapter 13. In Revelation chapter 13, when it's talking about what the beast looks like, it describes the beast as looking like a lion and a bear and a leopard. So, connecting the dots, then we can see that after the second king of the north vanishes, not heard of, no one knows what's going on. Day after day, minute after minute, they're all going, man, what is going on here? And and the bear king, the leopard king, the lion king take advantage of that uh, confusion, and they take over the monetary system. So now the kingdom of the north, well, that was made so filthy rich because their king was controlling the monetary system. Now that kingdom, not only do they not have the king that is over the monetary system, they probably have another very, very big problem. That second king of the north had been going around and conquering one isle after the other. And now that he has disappeared, and now that the Lion King, the Bear King, and the Leopard King has taken over the monetary system, more than likely, the Bear King, the Leopard King, the Lion King are going to punish the kingdom of the north for for the war that second king was on a rampage doing. So not only do they not have control of the monetary system in the kingdom of the north anymore, they probably got tremendously fined as well. And so when this seventh king, the raiser of taxes, when he finally steps up to the plate to try and be the next honcho, it's too late. It's too late. He's lost grip of the monetary system, and so now this vile person, he takes over there, and 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 now we can see over here that he passes out riches to the kingdom of the north. And then he goes over and convinces some of the people in the kingdom of the south to betray the king of the south, which is somewhere over Egypt and Jerusalem area. I don't know. And so he goes over and he's able to take over a major portion of the glorious land. But even though he's done that, um, he has a problem. And that is he and the kingdom of the south, both their hearts are set to do mischief, and they shall speak lies at one table, but it shall not prosper, for yet the end shall be at the time appointed. Then shall he, this eighth king, return into his land with great riches, and his heart shall be against the holy covenant, and he shall do exploits and return to his own land. So I want you to think about this. Does the eighth king act like he has the power, seat, and authority of Satan in these verses? You have who brought him and the king of the south to one table to have a discussion. My hunch is it's the lion king, the bear king, and the leopard king who control the monetary system and had a stern talking to him, going, what are you doing? Attacking the kingdom of the south. The whole purpose, one of the major purposes of having the monetary system is for those of us controlling the monetary system to prevent people like you attacking other people, like what you've been doing. Why should we not click the button and rip away every red cent that you have, every dollar that you have, all your riches? Why should we not do that? Get over here. Come over to the table. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to the kingdom of the south right now. And they talk. And then obviously the result is that the lion king, the bear king, and the leopard king told the eighth king, get out of the kingdom of the south. Go back to your own kingdom. And if you do this again, we are going to click the button and shut you down so you can't buy or sell anything. So you better watch yourself now. So then we get to verse 29. And at the time appointed, he shall return and come towards the south. But it shall not be as the former, nor as the latter. Now he has a sneaky plan, different. But look at this here, verse 30. For the ships of Chittim shall come against him. Therefore he shall be grieved and return and have indignation against the holy covenant. So shall he do. He shall even return and have intelligence with them that forsake the holy covenant. He's going to have people that are in the Jerusalem area that has turned against the Jerusalem area. But when he comes against the kingdom of the south, when he's trying to get over there, and the ships of Chittim see him, and he goes, oh, I'm caught. I got to go back. But think about what he's risking. He's going after the kingdom of the south after having been told when sitting at the table, don't do it again or else. So it's pretty bold for him to attempt to go back? What is driving him to risk having the Lion King, the Bear King, the Leopard King shutting down everything, taking away all his wealth, everything, shutting down the kingdom of the north? I mean, there's a lot at stake here. What could be so important for him to accomplish that mission? Does the eighth king act like he has the power of Satan and authority of Satan in these verses? He's forced to go back. Okay, we read verse 30. Now let's read verse 31. And the arms shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifice, and they shall place the abomination that maketh desolate. And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall be corrupted by flatteries. But the people that do know their God shall be strong and do exploits. So he accomplished his major goal of getting over into the Jerusalem area, polluting the sanctuary of strength. I want you to think of all the weapons that Israel has now. I want you to think of how many they'll have in the future when this event happens. Think of the nuclear weapons, think of the biological weapons that they have, and all the many other things that they'll have. And they're going to have weapons that probably aren't even invented yet. And he's going to take away the daily sacrifice, and they shall place the abomination that maketh desolate. What is that abomination that maketh desolate? This is when he starts to gather the army of the, um, let's see, 200,000, which, if literal, is an army of 200 million. And what is that army going to do? It's going to kill a third of the population. But we're not there yet. We're still over here at the fifth trumpet time period. And he has just taken over the sanctuary of Stacy. He has taken over where all the weapons are. All the weapons are. Now, now having nuclear weapons, now having biological weapons, now having so many weapons at his disposal, the Lion King, the Bear King, and the Leopard King are really in a bad spot because they control the monetary system. And if they click that button to shut down the eighth king can press the button and send nuclear weapons over to where that city is, over to where the lion, the bear, and the leopard king are. So now they are head to head in this battle of who's going to blink first. What's going to happen? Well, the eighth king wants to show the Lion King, the Bear King, the Leopard King, and everybody else that he means business. Don't mess with me. Don't press that button. Don't cut me off from the monetary system. And to show you I'm serious, I am going to unleash this biological weapon that is going to cause probably you and many, many, many other people to feel like they have been stung by a scorpion. And you're going to want to die, but you're not going to die. And you're going to be tortured with that for 5 months. And if you think that's bad, go ahead, press that button, and I'll blow the crap out of you. I mean, this is as serious as it gets over here, guys. The wicked against the wicked. And um, and so then, does he seem like he has the power of Satan now? And verse 33, and they that understand among the people shall instruct many, yet they shall fall by the sword and by flame, by captivity, and by spoils many days. Now, when they shall fall, they shall be hopeless with a little help. But many shall cleave to them with flatteries. Verse 35. And some of them of understanding shall fall, to try them, and to purge, and to make them white, even to the time of the end, because it is yet for a time appointed. Verse 36. And the king, this eighth king, this fourth king of the kingdom of the north, shall do according to his will, and he shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and shall speak marvelous things against the gods of God, and shall prosper till the indignation be accomplished, for that is determined shall be done. Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desires of women, nor regard any God, for he shall magnify himself above all. Neither shall he regard the God of his, okay, verse 38. But in his estate shall he honor the God of forces, a God whom his fathers knew not, shall he honor with gold and silver and with precious stones and pleasant things. And thus shall he do in the most strongholds with a strange God, whom he shall acknowledge and increase with glory. And he shall cause them to rule over many, and shall divide the land for gain. Now remember, 10, there's going to be 10 um, kings that become kings during this time. And here you can see that he is going to, um, that, okay, most high, and he shall acknowledge, and he shall cause him to rule over many. Okay, so he divides. Where does it talk about? Blah, 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 precious stones and, okay, knowledge. Okay, good. But somewhere right around there, we had read that how he will split it up. And so that's an indication of a time when those 10 kings come in power. And then what are those 10 kings going to do? They're going to destroy the evil monetary system. All right. Verse 40. And at that time of the end shall the king of the south push out him, and the king of the north shall come against him like a whirlwind, with chariots and with horsemen and with many ships. And he shall enter into the countries and shall overflow and pass over. And he shall enter also into the glorious land, and many countries shall be overthrown, but these shall escape out of his hand, even Edom and Moab and the chief of the children of Ammon. So the 10 kings seem to be in power with verse 40. The evil monetary system uh, seemed to be have just been destroyed by this time, and so by this time, the the eighth king began here to build his army of 200,000. But at this point here, it looks like he shall enter into the countries and shall overflow and pass through. It looks like this is the time in which the 200,000 are killing a third of the population. Now he's over in the glorious Holy Land, but he shall have power over the treasures of gold and silver and over the precious things of Egypt. And the Libyans and the Ethiopians shall be at his step. But tidings out of the east and out of the north shall trouble him. Therefore he shall go forth with great fury to destroy, and to utterly to make away many. And he shall plant the tabernacles of his palace between the seas of the glorious holy mountain. Yet he shall come to his end, and none shall help him. What's the glorious holy mountain? Mount of Olives. What's the seas? That's the Mediterranean and the Dead Sea. Okay. Now that's the end of Daniel chapter 11. Um, Remember when they wrote this, there wasn't chapters, there wasn't chapter headings. So we just go right into Daniel chapter 12. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. And many of them that slept in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, some to shame and everlasting corruption. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. Does end with the return of Christ in power and glory. And that is what we wanted to cover today. There's more to cover tomorrow. It's going to be the last day of the 3-week course. And I look forward to sharing that with you. And we're going to have a great time. And for now, God bless, and we'll see you tomorrow.